Alright guys, so this week's episode, if you recall 2 weeks ago, or the week before last rather, I did a video on Aaliyah and on the unfortunate things that happened to her by way of R. Kelly. This past week I did an episode on Texas and their raggedy ass new bans on abortion. And so, of course, many people had many raggedy things to say about women and their bodies and what people do with them and how we talk about it.
That nigga's tripping.
Alright, so you guys might be familiar with user at Motimo, because I pinned one of his comments underneath that Aaliyah video and he was arguing with everybody underneath it. But I'm going to pick out one of his comments specifically. Alright. I just get so irritated when I see it. So at Timo says, this the type videos that are driving wedges between black men and women. Shaking my head. I really like her video, by the way. I could stop there. But promoting that black men hate black women, us ridiculous. He meant is ridiculous. Speaking about the trials black women have gone through in the music industry at the hands of black men, as if black men created this atmosphere. As if black men created this atmosphere because we hate y'all, but don't tell how black men have been treated by the music industry. I'm gonna keep going. Saying Willie Lynch wasn't real, because he wasn't. That cannot be proven, but it can. But what is true, period, is whether his name, I'm gonna stop being petty. Alright, but what is true is whether his name was Willie or Walter, he was very much a real person that they very much did have sit downs all over the country and speak to and bounce ideas back and forth. No, they did not. It's fabricated. On how to control slaves, enslaved people. Last point. Nobody hated black women because they listened to R. Kelly. Or because merch is being sold at high prices. Hitler and every other famous person the world hated is still spoken about. Are they selling Hitler t-shirts? Alright bro, I can go down this like a list of bullet points. Let's start right from the top. Alright, number one. Let's see. At Timo. Number one. This the type videos that are driving wedges between black men and black women. Shaking my head. There is already a wedge between black men and black women because of the way historically it has been culturally accepted for black men to treat black women. That divide already exists. It is already there. Bringing it up, shining light on it doesn't create the wedge. It shines a light on the area that is broken so people can see it so it can be fixed. Y'all just like to say so much that it's discouraging and it's disappointing to hear black women speak out about these things, so you'd rather us be silent. When you insinuate that a problem should not be highlighted, you're asking people to be silent about their suffering, and that does nothing but create a faulty or weaker foundation. Don't get me wrong, everything is white people's fault. Absolutely. But people want to act like black women are to blame for the disconnect between black men and black women, when those same black men would want white people to be held accountable for their problems, number one. There's so many layered parts to this conversation that would show how being oppressed leads to divides between, or violence, domestic abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, lack of emotional availability. All of those things can be attributed back to some type of handed down trauma or oppression. Yes, we can trace it back how it got to white folks, but all of that has been, all the things that they have done to create this divide between us has been intentional. And it's been the cause of us not being able to stand together. You want black women to be silent about what they got going on right now so we can stand together to fix the issues of black people as a whole, which more often than not refers to the issues of black men. But you're not understanding and how the things that are being done to one another in our communities are contributing to the further divide, or contributing to the lack of us being able to unify on a stronger basis. Number two. I really like her video, by the way.
Stop it. Get some help.
You liking my content does not make what you say after that statement any less disrespectful or problematic. You liking my content isn't gonna make me say, hey, oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna dial back on how I respond to you. That is a type of microaggression. You showing some type of regard for someone's craft, talent, or contribution as if your valuation of their talent or contribution matters, as if it holds weight. Moving along. Damn it, my phone just died. Not you wasn't even dying. You just wanted to show me a black screen with an apple so I couldn't talk my shit. It's the government. Number three. When we talk about hating black women, there are some of you that just straight up hate us. You don't want to date us. You want to be with everybody else because you think we too loud, obnoxious, whatever. But then there are those of you who practice this sort of unthinking, insidious type of hate to where you treat black women a certain way because it has become culturally acceptable and you are unconscious of its consequences. And therefore you think you've done nothing wrong. But when we say you hate us, we talk about kind of like that kid who has a magnifying glass, putting it over an ant, and is just watching it die. Like, that's interesting.
It's way, get out of there!
It's one of those things where, hey, I'm oppressed. I'm going to take my oppression out on this other person, and it's okay because I'm oppressed and this person is lower than me on the food chain, so they should just expect to be treated this way. Or I don't necessarily have to be accountable for the things that I do to this person because who's going to check me for hurting this person that everybody else already hates? And I can just get away with acting like I don't hate them because we're the same skin color and we have some of the same issues. This comment comes from Digit Queen. She goes, I don't agree with abortion, but I do feel that women should have the right to choose. Also, many women just use abortion as a form of birth control. Whoa. What? How do we all have all of these issues and still have unprotected sex and or random sex, period? What about that? And you are late on your period and you had unprotected sex and you're poor as fuck and now you want to talk about blaming the government because said woman wants an abortion. At the end of the day, I say be effing responsible for your body and what you do with it. How about that? I knew people were going to say this. I said, let's also note that arguments that women should be more responsible if they don't want to have babies. Keep in mind that birth control is not 100%. And at the end of the day, it's rape culture. Saying that we should be more responsible with how we have sex with people, whatever, what have you. Woo, Digit Queen. Because the thing about it is number one, birth control is not 100%. You can use condoms all day. It can break. You cannot even know it break. When you're pulling it out, something can spill, whatever. Literally happens to people all the time.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Number two, birth control pills. If you mess up, like, you could be done for. None of the options, even the implanted versions, are 100%, so there's no way of completely protecting yourself from getting pregnant. Now, I do agree, especially for women who enjoy sex and enjoy sex with multiple partners, to wrap it up because STDs. I mean, I also live in Atlanta, STDs. But responsibility for safe sex and responsibility for not getting pregnant should not be on women because, let's be clear, a woman cannot get pregnant unless there is a sperm that fertilizes her egg. It cannot happen. Jeffrey Spriggs, your turn. He said the same thing, but he put some hotep in there. He put a splice of hotepery in there. Jeffrey Spriggs says, this is 2021. Is Jeffrey white? Oh, Jeffrey is black. Jeffrey is a black man. This is 2021. Black women need to stop aborting and killing their babies. The most dangerous places for a black child is in their mother's womb. Yikes. He hates us too. Woo! This argument is getting old. Women have 31 forms of birth control. I don't know if you're exaggerating, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. Be more responsible, wrap it up, take the pill, IUD, morning after pill, mother. Stop killing the life inside your womb. Jerry, if you don't get the hell on, talking about the most dangerous place for a black child is in their mother's room. I don't know, the streets. I don't know, in the custody of police officers. I don't know, at school. Other dangerous places for black children. I don't know, walking home from school so they don't get kidnapped, especially young black girls. This is the type of shit that makes me very careful about who I associate myself with in terms of the cause for liberation of the black race. Because there are a lot of arguments, there are a lot of ideologies rather, that tie up black people's liberation and black men's dominance and black men's ascension to power. And a lot of that has to do with stationing black women in a specific gender role so that she can be in service to black men and using her uterus to repopulate the world with black children. There are a lot of people who make comments about how these new abortion laws are probably about white people being able to prevent white women from getting abortions so they can have more white people because they're becoming less and less. But there's kind of always been this idea that we need to repopulate the earth with black people, and the lack of population of black people is one of the issues of us not being a strong race. And all of that is foolishness taken from the book of Dr. Umar Johnson. It's sexist, it's violent. Where are the conversations? Where are the comments about pullout game? Where are the comments about ensuring that you wrap it up, gentlemen? Why are we telling women to use condoms and not men to use condoms? Why are we not talking to men about that when it comes to abortion? Like, if you want to reduce abortions, let's talk to young men about that. Because I think also the issue is not about women getting pregnant. It's about making sure women have babies once they get pregnant. One more.
Another one.
This one isn't problematic, but it did bring up something that challenged my thinking. And I think it's something other people should be cognizant of as well. Jay Wall says, Lenise, love you. Love you too. And these facts, indeed, these facts you spit in. I do want us to move away from talking about this as an issue that only impacts women, because there are several bodies, trans men, for example, or genderqueer folks, who have been gravely impacted by this. Anyone with a uterus can get pregnant. It's the intersectional analysis for me. And we love to see it. We love to bring the people in the room who deserve to be in the room. Imagine, especially for trans men in this situation, becoming pregnant who did not want to become pregnant, how mentally and psychologically debilitating that experience can be. And then to not have the option to get an abortion can be terrifying. So I just want that to be something that everyone takes home and keeps in mind, a learning experience for me and you. And that's it for this week's In the Comments. I'll see you next time.